Nintendo. This is the company that gave us Mario, the Wii, and some of the greatest games ever made. But now, they're patenting basic game mechanics, they're charging $10 for a demo, $80 for a game that doesn't even come on the cartridge, and if you mod the console you bought, they'll brick it remotely.
This isn't the Nintendo that I left.
Nintendo used to feel like they were the company that cared. Now it feels like they're just becoming another greedy AAA company. So where did it all go wrong? Well, our downfall story starts with two people who completely reshaped Nintendo for the better. This is Reggie Fils-Aimé.
My name is Reggie. I'm about kicking ass. I'm about taking names. And we're about making games.
It's 2004, and Nintendo's new ass-kicking Reggie, the VP of marketing, was about to meet the one person who would change everything. That was Satoru Iwata, the president of Nintendo at the time. And as Reggie was joining Nintendo, he asked to meet Iwata himself, directly. This was a big no-no. He didn't go straight to the top as a new hire. But Iwata surprisingly agreed. The meeting was only supposed to last 30 minutes, but instead it lasted for hours. These two just hit.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's how you do it right there, Reggie. Shout out to Reggie. My man showed up, said,
Reggie
I'm gonna need to see the CEO, bro. Stop playing with me.
Tell him step outside real quick. I gotta talk to him. But if you like had a 3DS like back in the era, like you seen this man 24/7, like Reggie was that dude for Nintendo.
Shout out to Reggie, man. My man's pulled up and said, "This my party right here."
There's this passion these two shared, and they'd become the dynamic duo at the top of Nintendo. Iwata, of course, was at the top because he was the legendary CEO. But why Reggie? He was this American coming into a Japanese company. And not only that, he was giving Western pushback. Well, Reggie wasn't just any kind of business executive. He had the experience, a bunch of marketing awards, but there was something even more important. Beneath it all, he was a Nintendo fan, through and through. He'd been playing Nintendo games for decades, once even staying up till 3 a.m. with his son to play A Link in the Past, even with work in the morning. I can relate to that. But that's the key here. Reggie jumped to the top of Nintendo because he really understood what made Nintendo great. He may have been an executive, but he was a fan and customer first. Which brings us to his first big challenge.
Whether you're talking about Donkey Kong or Tetris, Madden or Mario, Metal Gear or Resident Evil, he with the best games wins. Always been that way, always will.
That's a fact. How did y'all lose yourself, though?
The advance. But now it was time to change things up. So Nintendo was hard at work, getting ready to move into new territory, where no one else could follow. And this vehicle, this new path, well, it was the Nintendo DS. But first, a bit of context. With the DS underway, Reggie and Iwata decided to follow the Blue Ocean strategy. This is about as classic as NBA strategies go. And it's pretty straightforward. Red Ocean, bloodbath. That's lots of competition. Blue Ocean, it's empty. It's uncharted waters. It's, there's no direct competition. This is great, but it comes with an obstacle. Sometimes products can be so new that people don't quite get the value. But unlike many odd products that don't make sense that we see in the market, the DS had this incredible value. However, it wasn't immediately obvious. Why two screens, people ask? The picture is not so great. It's small. Why touchscreen? And keep in mind, this is about 3 years before the iPhone. People weren't that familiar with this kind of touchscreen. For Nintendo, people needed to be able to experience this for themselves to get it. Moreover, those that tried the DS at E3, they weren't that impressed. Yet there was this other problem, the PSP. Journalists were raving about it, while the DS left people a bit confused. Reggie noticed that after Nintendo tried the PSP, the Sony representative would come and clean it up, so it always looked perfect. But in reality, it'd be covered in scratches. The PSP had its flaws. If people could really see the DS's potential compared to the PSP, thought Reggie, it could be a huge hit, but it needed the right game. And that game was Metroid Prime Hunters. It was a beloved series, and in this game, you could aim with a touchscreen in a first-person shooter. People could experience that potential of the DS firsthand, but the game wasn't ready. This was really bad. The DS risked flopping. So Reggie did something pretty unconventional. He didn't push for crunch or unrealistic targets like so many companies do. Instead, he found a compromise. The team should pivot to make a demo, Prime Hunters First Hunt, which would come with the first 2 million DS units. This was the perfect solution, but it was pretty controversial. Why? Well, Nintendo hated and hates giving away content for free. I mean,
terrible Nintendo. Reggie was ahead of his time, bruh. Reggie was ahead of his time, and he had companies like Nintendo holding him back, bro. Talking about we don't give away free games.
I mean, I think demos like back in the day, like demos back then was like really wasn't heard of. Like we got demos now. Like you wasn't gonna play no demo of like Mario Galaxy or something from the PlayStation like Final Fantasy as a demo. So it was like, I can see what they was talking about and not at the same time.
I don't know, like not giving out a demo cause you don't want to give a free game. I think that's egregious.
That's what I'm saying though. I don't think demos was like a
me.
big thing back then. Like what was a demo back then? I don't know,
but
they really hate it. Plus, we pushed back at the main games release.
Let Reggie cook,
Iwata
man.
surprisingly trusted Reggie, and he gave the thumbs up. So what happened?
I was number 9, but I've been here since like 10 o'clock. Grab bag as soon as you walk up the door.
There, man. Have fun.
People immediately got what the DS could do, and then it just snowballed. To date, the Nintendo DS is the second best-selling video game console of all time, 154 million units. And if you're a millennial like me, the DS was amazing. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, you had Mario Kart, you had Nintendogs.
Do you think the DS was their best console? Well, it ain't a console, but system, I guess.
The DS, no. 3DS, the 3DS was peak material. A lot of people hated it because of the 3DS features. Was I guess I don't know if they didn't know you can turn the 3D off.
Yeah, that was just them
People-
being dumb for real.
People kind of stupid, but the 3DS was definitely a peak console. I would say.
I don't know. I mean, I would say as far as games, I think the Wii takes it. Like no contest. As far as
I'm not saying because the
like innovation.
the 3DS wasn't no system. It was like a handheld, but I say the 3DS had the multiplayer games. I never played, but I heard Kid Icarus was like such a really good multiplayer game and stuff like that. And like shoot, we even played Four Swords. Four Swords had 4 missions, but we played that joint to the freaking end of his days. Like
That's
goddamn.
that's all we had until we got Mario Party. Once we got Mario Party, the DS,
Shoot.
3DS was lit after we got Mario Party, and that was just
Yeah,
like
but-
what Mario Party 6. That was one of the best ones too.
Nah, that was just a spin-off. Mario Party, and I say Mario Party DS was the best Mario Party ever. The game modes,
That
they
one
had a
was lit.
story mode and everything else. Like, good console.
On the bus from school is unreal. It was a huge success. And following this, Iwata promoted Reggie to president of Nintendo of America. So it was all going great. But Nintendo had a big challenge right around the corner. You see, everyone at Nintendo had been there for decades. I mean, decades. But these two, despite being at the top of Nintendo, they were very new. Iwata had come from HAL Laboratory, a studio that made games for Nintendo, and Reggie, well, he came from the US marketing world, having worked at Pizza Hut and VH1 before Nintendo had brought him in. They were essentially outsiders, and they were at a company that was so traditional. At that point, only 3 people had held the CEO title since the company's inception in the 1800s. But the beauty of this was that it gave Iwata and Reggie a totally different perspective to everyone else, most of whom were pretty deeply entrenched in tradition.
The graveyard of any industry is filled with the headstones of companies who decided to keep doing things the same old way.
Facts.
And the people there at Nintendo would need that new perspective to solve this next problem: consoles. At the time, Nintendo's handhelds were booming, but their home consoles were another story. Since the NES, each Nintendo console had sold less than the last, from 61 million to 49 million to 32 million to the GameCube at 21 million. And to be clear, I love the GameCube. Smash Melee, gold. But their competition was absolutely killing them. The PS2 had sold 160 million units, almost 8 times more. This was really bad. Not to mention Xbox had just entered the game. Nintendo needed to shake things up. They needed to come up with something different. Enter the Nintendo Wii.
Mr. Iwata, maybe this year I can just take the names and you can kick the, you know.
Yes, of course. That is my job.
This console was revolutionary, a console with full motion controls. No one had done anything like this, at least not at this scale. It had that classic NES control scheme, but you could really swing the remote. It was pretty revolutionary, and it just felt fun, it felt intuitive. And we need to look no further than Wii Sports. What seemed like
If you wasn't there during the Wii Sports time, bro, you
I
missed
feel
the
like-
time, dog.
It definitely was a time in America where the Wii was just everything. Like it was no Xbox, it was no PlayStation Station. It was just the Wii and Wii Sports. So it was like it was a different era. For
If
gaming.
you ain't have the Wii with Wii Sports Resort, bro, you just wasn't like, you wasn't a gamer back then. Like you wasn't doing nothing. Like what was you doing? Like definitely wasn't playing a game.
tech demo was actually the most important selling point for the Wii. It was
Wii
sports, which everyone in the
Sports?
world understood.
Legendary.
And you just try it and instantly go, wow, this is fun. You immediately get what the Wii is supposed to be. But the developers had also poured everything into the depth of the game. Fun after an hour, and after 10 hours, and after 100 hours. But Reggie saw the writing on the wall. He knew the Wii would have the same problem as the DS. Even more so, it was too unique to understand from just watching videos. But there was a solution here, and it would be Reggie's biggest battle to date. He proposed that Wii Sports should be
Put it in a
bundled and free
bundle.
with the Wii. The first Hunt demo on the DS, now that was controversial. But this was something else. He suggested the idea to Iwata, and immediately the two friends clashed. Reggie, Nintendo does not need to give away precious content for free. It is a unique software that motivates consumers to buy our hardware. No, we should not pack in Wii Sports. This wasn't one hard discussion.
See, come on, Nintendo, stop holding my man's Reggie back, bro. He trying to cook up. Come on, man.
No, definitely, I don't think the Wii would have sold as good. I mean, I think it still did numbers because after the word got out, like this is the best next thing, but it wouldn't have done numbers as then bundling it with the console,
Definitely wouldn't
which
have.
we don't got that now. Shoot, consoles drop alone nowadays too. So
Nah, we get bundles, but we
Yeah,
get it
but that's
after.
but I say that's an
After that
add-on.
drop.
It's not like once you buy the PS5, it's nothing comes with it. Like
I think 2K came with mines. I think so.
but months
Who
of
the
back
heck
and
wants
forth.
2K?
And after many months of hard talks, Iwata came around to Reggie's thinking. Yeah, Reggie had another obstacle, the third heavy hitter at the top of Nintendo, Shigeru Miyamoto. If you don't know him, you definitely know his work. Mario, Donkey Kong, The Legend of Zelda, Star Fox. Miyamoto is the godfather of video games and the head of game development at Nintendo. This was Reggie's fiercest opponent, and after he and Iwata pitched the idea, Miyamoto was not happy. Neither of you understands the challenges of creating software people love to play, he said. We do not give away our software. It seemed like all hope was lost, but eventually Reggie, Iwata, and Miyamoto came to a compromise. Bundle Wii Sports for the Western markets, but for Japan and Asia, it would be sold separately. So what happened? The Wii did well globally, but in the West, it blew up. Wii Sports was huge.
Yeah,
It's hard to
Reggie.
describe how big it actually
Yeah,
was around the
Reggie.
time, but people were buying the console like hotcakes. They were buying it for that social experience with Wii Sports. Think about hospitals, retirement homes, cruise ships. Everyone wanted this game, not just kids. Reggie proved that he was absolutely right. It wasn't about giving stuff away. It was about helping customers buy into that vision of the Wii. It was about delighting players and helping them understand the fun. I think without the Wii Sports bundle, the Wii wouldn't have succeeded nearly as much. By the holiday season, the Wii was the fastest selling console in video game history. Nintendo was in the golden age again. But sadly, good times don't last forever. Although Reggie and Iwata had become celebrities in the Nintendo community, showing up time and time again in trailers and presentations,
They used to have the most dumbest shorts. They used to
I was gonna say, what is this?
handheld 3DS was pretty good. I mean, it was a Nintendo handheld.
Reggie do something legendary. They had that
It had some good
corny
things like Ocarina of Time
ad or
which
whatever that
wasn't as
was.
exciting as the DS.
But no,
It
that's
was
how it
sure,
was
but
on the
not the way
3DS.
touchscreens
It's called
or
it was
motion
called
controls were when they
3DS
came out.
Shorts,
The 3DS
and they would do
wasn't that
dumb
innovative
crap
or
like
unique, so
that.
it kind of struggled. Reggie tried to push.
Oh,
for
they
price
was the
drop
first
to $99,
YouTube shorts.
but Iwata and other leaders
They
tried.
really
nah.
Unfortunately, the 3DS
was.
underperformed, selling about half the units.
I used to watch something
Retailers were
called.
quickly
It
losing
used to
interest,
be
and
called
Nintendo
like
had to then
Dinosaur
actually make
Office.
aggressive price cuts.
I
They
used to
lost
watch
their
the
money.
crap out
The
of
big
that.
challenge, like
That's-
before,
that's
their home
kinda
console,
fire,
the Wii U.
though.
First, this thing was confusing, just inherently. Like the whole thing didn't make sense to people. Even though it was a new console, many customers thought that it was maybe an extension, an upgrade, the Wii 2. There was the gimmick of the handheld controller, but the
Which
value was
I don't
really
understand
obvious to
how
people
people
why it
was
was fun,
confused with the
and the
Wii
company
U. Like it's a simple console, bro. Some people just be dumb, bro. I swear.
Yeah, it's just an extension to the Wii. Like it wasn't that hard, but I mean, I definitely think first of all the Wii U is definitely an upgrade to the Wii. Just adding the fact that you don't need a sensor bar to move around the menu screen. I think that was the dumbest thing that the Wii did.
Oh, it was
But-
like 10 times.
Yeah.
Like shoot.
But the
But
Wii
that-
U came in and fixed that. But Nintendo
Shoot,
Land.
But to say even Nintendo Land was peak for the Wii U and stuff like that.
One of the greatest games that Nintendo have ever brought out, and just don't seem to ever want to bring it back. I don't get it, Nintendo. You have great ideas, and you just be like, nope, I don't want to do it no more.
Here's the thing: we live in the golden age of everybody calling everything trash nowadays. Every game is bad. Everything this, that, and the third. So it's hard for gaming companies to know what people want if everybody keeps saying, "Oh, this game suck," or "This game just don't got this, that, and the third." It just makes no sense. The same with like GameCube. Well, we don't got sequels to a lot of GameCube games when most GameCube games were peak. People said they don't like it.
Well, I'm gonna speak from my perspective. Nintendo, bring Nintendo Land back, bro. Give us a
Nintendo Land
Nintendo
2.
Land 2, bro. This joint was lit, and y'all just left it in the dust.
tried to fix this by bundling Nintendo
Matter of fact, never mind, cause y'all the way y'all did Switch Sports, I wouldn't even want y'all. I don't even want y'all to mess that game up. Nah, I don't even
Man,
do it.
all we need
Never
is
mind.
Luigi's Mansion and Mario Race and Zelda. That's the only three we need. Everything else can kick rocks and blow bubbles.
I don't even do it. Nah, I don't, cause they just gonna mess it up. I don't rock with Nintendo nowadays, bro. They doing like all that games is horrible. I'm gonna be honest, all that games is horrible. I didn't see Mario Kart. Mario Kart, one of my favorite games. That joint horrible. I don't even want y'all to do Smash Bros. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even want y'all to touch Smash Bros 6. Give it to somebody else, like Larian or somebody like that. That's gonna do a good job with Smash Bros. Cause I don't know, man.
Land with the Black Premium version of the Wii U, but even then, people they didn't really
It's
get it.
just
It was
been
the core.
nasty
What
out
the
here.
problem was this console solving. There's more issues than just the consoles. The games fell short too. Star Fox Zero, which I think could have been pretty fun, but it forced players to use that little screen, and they made it pretty unplayable. And then there's Metroid fans who were dying for a new game after 8 years, which by the way is why Hollow Knight succeeded. And when Nintendo did finally announce a new Metroid game, it was this like chibi multiplayer game for the 3DS. There was something going on. There was some kind of disconnect at this time between Nintendo and players. It felt like Nintendo just wanted to be different, but didn't really understand what was fun about some of their new things, their new hardware they were producing. So the Wii U, it missed the mark. Sales tanked, and it sold barely a tenth of the Wii sales. This was really bad. But through this blunder, Satoru Iwata showed his true nature, because after 3DS underperformed, he cut his own salary by 50%. He wasn't on some Bobby Kotick salary either, instead about $2 million US. And then what was crazy is the board and senior leaders at Nintendo also took pay cuts, something around 20-30%. Then with the Wii U still underperforming, Iwata halved his salary again in 2014. He said it was to show our sincere attitude and to fulfill our responsibility. In the failure, some staff were laid off, sadly.
Yeah,
but
you
this
won't
move
see
prevented
that on
many,
the
many
corner
more from
street
losing their
no
jobs.
more.
It showed that Nintendo really did care, even if they got it wrong. They cared about delivering value for customers, and they cared about their own people. Other CEOs, they just lay off 10, 20, 30% of their staff, say sorry, and then spend millions of dollars on classic cars. But not Iwata, not Nintendo. Yet some of these mistakes, the Wii U, the 3DS, would be the seeds to Nintendo's biggest breakthrough. The gamepad, with all of its problems, had glimpses of genius. You can use the big TV, but if somebody else still needs
fire.
it, they can swap it to a gamepad. Want to move around?
Yeah, I
with you,
think it
already
was
ideas.
too
People
early
love
for its
this.
time again.
Just
Like
wasn't really
you could
executed.
FaceTime and do all this other stuff in a console. Like it had so many features, but I think it definitely was too early for its time. Like even TV remote control and crap like that. Shoot.
Well, like they kept saying, like Nintendo was definitely the most innovative company, well, gaming company, whatever, ever. So, like, every time they brought in something new, Reggie realized, oh, we gotta play something else, put something on here that you already have that you can get into the game. So with the Wii, it was Wii Sports. You got a whole free game. With the DS, you got a free demo. I don't remember if anything came on the Wii U, so they just put it out there. It was something brand new
They
again,
said
and they just put it out there.
they said earlier that they tried to bundle it with Nintendo Land. I don't know if it's like the beginning or they said like later they tried to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think they should have dropped that. If they didn't
I don't know.
drop it,
I had the limited edition Wind Waker bundle. That joint was fire.
yeah, that joint didn't come till later though, like way later. But yeah, if they didn't drop it with Nintendo Land, they definitely should have. But yeah.
Yeah, well, you couldn't go far and anything could block the connection. But something magical was there. They were onto something. So Nintendo got back to work. Then came the Switch. It was like the Wii U, but perfect. The value was obvious. Play on the TV or play on the go. Plus, Nintendo pushed back their big, brand new Zelda to launch with it, Breath of the Wild. And if you're like me, you probably know the rest. The Switch has sold over 150 million units, and Nintendo has reclaimed their spot at the top. But it wasn't all good news. Sadly, during these years of development and change, Satoru Iwata's health had been deteriorating, and in July 2015, he passed away. He never really got to see the Switch
Rest
and all
in
of its
peace, my
success.
boy.
But I'm sure he would have been proud of his company and of his friend Reggie.
Attending Mr. Wada's funeral. It was a very difficult emotional experience. I made sure to have learned the proper Japanese customs. There's a way you pinch incense and you hold it to your head, and the way you spend time in front of the remains. I made sure I did that perfectly well because I wanted to demonstrate the respect that I had for my friend and my mentor.
Then another blow happened to Nintendo in 2019. Reggie announced his retirement. These two legends of Nintendo were gone too soon. And that brings us to today.
I'm gonna just predict it right here. This is when Nintendo started going downhill. Soon as Reggie left, that's when Nintendo started going downhill. I'm gonna be honest with you.
After Iwata's passing, and
I
Reggie stepped away,
don't know if that's
Nintendo
a
was on the
fact,
right
but
path
I'm
for a
just
while. They were
give
doing
my
well,
prediction.
making good games, mostly good decisions, but slowly things were just slipping away. The first signs were in 2022. An employee asked Reggie's replacement, Doug Bowser, about unionizing in
Yeah, I don't know
internal
why they
anime.
fired
He was
this
quickly
dude.
fired.
He
filed
was
complaints to the NLRB.
horrible.
Nintendo settled everything out of court with this employee. Not to mention Doug
That was
Bowser
in there for
apologized.
like a
But to
couple
me,
months.
it's clear that something was going on, that the culture in Nintendo had changed. Within the company, there were talks of union busting, and Nintendo contractors were saying that they were being treated like second-class citizens. Reggie had a few thoughts on Nintendo's behavior.
A core focus while I was at Nintendo of America was having a healthy culture within the company. And I know I was able to achieve that. And certainly what's being described does not seem like a healthy culture.
But these unhealthy culture choices were just the beginning. In 2025 came the Switch 2. And while functionally it's very similar to the Switch, the release couldn't have been more different. For one thing, it had a short pay demo that cost $10. If you can't tell, Nintendo still hates releasing anything for free, even this. And after this, Reggie subtly tweeted how he bundled Wii in with the Wii Sports. He clearly did not agree with the $10 demo. But it gets worse. New Mario Kart? $80. Except now that physical cartridge doesn't even have the game. It's just the key to download it. It's just the Fallout 76 all over again. Nintendo said this is to future-proof the Switch 2, as games supposedly grow bigger, but I don't believe that. And there's more. In the terms of service, Nintendo states that if you use any unauthorized software or tamper with security of your own console, it will remotely disable your Switch 2. That's right. Mod the console, you bought and paid for, they'll brick it. I mean, we've gone beyond
Alright,
licensing
but
games
right
situation.
here
We're
is
now
what
at
I'm talking about with the whole, like, first of all, with the price increase. Sony boys, y'all was happy to spread your cheeks when Sony did it when they increased the price to $70. Nobody better than I didn't say
First
nothing.
of all, that's cap. Nobody wanted a price increase, but
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It wasn't as big of an outrage when Nintendo did it. Like, because y'all Sony did it first, and then Xbox followed. Xbox dudes didn't really care because we pay for Game Pass for all our games, so that $70 didn't really matter to us. But Sony started that crap, and then when Nintendo announced they was going to follow suit too, oh, it's a boohoo cry wolf. Like, make that make sense. Same with the game cartridges. The game not being fully on a disc. The game haven't been fully on a disc for freaking years. And now that Nintendo finally not putting all their games on their disc, that's a problem. Like, make it make sense. Y'all cry about this and then don't cry about the other. It don't make sense.
I feel like
It
you
was
came
a-
in
it was another point.
for Nintendo, big dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm just
feel like you came
saying.
in for Nintendo.
I'm just saying, like, keep it 100 between everybody. Like, how can you not cry about this thing? Like, the same with the Nintendo Switch controllers too. Sony controllers is $85 right now, and we're crying about Nintendo. You get 2 controllers for $80.
All right,
But that's
okay.
a problem.
PS controllers is way better than Nintendo controllers, and it ain't $85. It's $60. It's still $60.
Nah, it's 85. They raised their prices. It's 85 now.
Still.
The same with, it's another thing going on because Steam just announced their controllers. Their controllers $100 with a mouse pad, and people crying about that. But like I said, you still buying the PS5 controllers for $85. It don't make sense.
First of all, Joy-Cons are horrible. It has been the worst controllers that has ever dropped on the market, besides Nintendo 64 controllers. That's how bad they have been. The PS controllers hold up very well for me to drop $85. You want me to drop $100 on some Joy-Cons?
I don't know.
That's
it
crazy.
It depends because I be seeing your boy Craig controllers and
Yeah, that's a
they look
that's
cheap
a
to me.
different type of nigga, but still, like the Joy-Cons been $100. That should never be that because Joy-Cons is just that horrible.
But at
Second-
the same time, that's what I'm saying. You get 2 controllers for the price of 1, so
Yeah,
it's kind
but-
of even out.
That's the thing. Like saying that it's 2 controllers is not really 2 controllers. It's just a 2-in-1 because I'm gonna use it as 1 controller. I'm not gonna use it as 2
Well,
controllers unless
that's
I'm
just
playing
you.
Switch Sports. What
that's
other
just
game
you.
are you using it for 2
Some-
controllers? Are you
some
really
people-
playing Smash Bros on 1 controller
Some
of a Joy-Con?
people- Some people do, and we call those people weird.
Exactly.
But people
That's
do.
my point. That's my point.
But I just said it's possible. But like I said, at the same time, I don't understand what the issue is if Sony and Xbox can do it, why can't Nintendo?
Because Nintendo fundamentals are bad. Y'all don't have good controllers. Y'all games kind of lack like Mario Kart for $80. I think that's a little egregious, and it's not even that good. Like
First
y'all
of
don't even
all,
have 200cc yet. That's
you-
crazy.
First of all, Mario Kart World is the best Mario Kart that ever dropped.
Nah,
People
bro.
need to play it.
Ma-
A lot
matter
of
of
people
fact,
want to hate out.
matter
That's
of
what I'm saying.
fact,
A lot of people want to.
we gonna do a Mario Kart
Club.
react. Mario Kart react video because I done seen some
lot of-
videos. They like, yo, this is the worst Mario Kart of all time.
Because, like I said, people suck at games. People want it easy. A lot of people hate outside the club. They saying, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that." First of all, people don't know the state that Mario Kart 8 dropped. Mario Kart 8 was the worst Mario Kart out there when it dropped. It had no
Sure.
200cc. It had 32 maps. It had no battle modes, no nothing, and barely didn't have all the items and everything else. And then we got Deluxe later on the Switch and stuff like that. So
Right, but
That's cap.
the
But
problem
Mario
is
Kart World is the best multiplayer. It's 24 players. The skill gap a lot of people hate because you need to freaking learn how to play the game. These kids nowadays don't know how to learn to play the game. They want to add cheats and stuff like that to win nowadays instead of actually get good. And this is what Mario Kart World does, and that's why people hate it.
this is the issue that I have with your statement about Mario Kart 8. The problem is that Mario Kart 8 and then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, this came after that, and it don't have 200cc. Like that right there is already an issue. Why don't you already start with
the
something
problem
better
is the
than
problem with your
Mario
statement
Kart
is
8?
you don't know why it doesn't have 200cc. The game don't work at 200cc because of things you do in the game.
Right,
So it's
right.
not like
Make it work.
that's
That's what
not
y'all supposed to do.
that's
Y'all
not
supposed
how
to
that
make it work.
works.
Y'all supposed to make it work. Why would I see that's the thing. Why would I want to go from a game that goes 200cc to 150? Why would I want to go slower, Nintendo? How does that make sense? Make it work.
Because you have different mechanics in the game. That's why everything don't always carry over to the next game because it can't.
And that's fine though. You can have different mechanics, but at the end of the day, make it work. You telling me just because it's 24 niggas and there's different mechanics and niggas is flipping upside down and flying and everything, you can't make a 200cc?
Yeah, that's like saying I want double dash mechanics, but that
No, that's
includes
nasty.
48.
Ew.
But that's what people want. You want double dash mechanics. Oh, let me have a rider in the front and a person throw items in the back. So now you're adding 48 characters to the game, which it doesn't work. For
No,
that type of game.
you can just do 12 and 12. You don't have to do 48. You just do 12 and
But
12.
that's just 12. That's not 24 racers though.
Right. But what I'm saying is if you wanted to go that way, if you wanted to play with your mans, you would get on and it would be 12 and 12. It wouldn't be 48
Somebody's
48
trying
people.
to hop on the back of somebody else's
I mean,
car,
at the end of the day, if you wanted to do 48 people, what's the difference between that if you're still doing 24 races? It don't really make a difference.
a game wouldn't be able to handle 48 races. Like that.
Make it work. That's the thing.
You talking about 48 races, 48 items, everything spam is just too much. It don't
Yeah,
work like that.
yeah. Make it work though. Like that's the thing. Like I feel like game companies has gotten too lazy to the point where they like, oh yeah, we just gonna drop this and we ain't gonna work hard enough to make it work.
It's not always about being lazy. It's about like hardware. Hardware can only go so far, especially you talking about like a racing game online. That's why like Need for
Right.
Speed sticks with 12 people, or like it's always a certain limit. It can't just get, oh, let's just add 100 players in here because
And that's
like nah.
that's one of my biggest things about Nintendo too. Why would y'all drop a Switch 2 and y'all ain't got no console? Like, if y'all would have made a console for the Switch, like I would have paid for the Switch 2 and paid for the console, because then I can play anything on the console, and then whatever I can't play on on the Switch 2, I'll play on the console. But I would take Mario Kart with me, Smash Bros with me, all that. But you telling me that if GTA 6 drop right now, y'all still can't play GTA 6? Fundamentals is off, bro. Fundamentals is off.
I'm gonna say this first of all, because people they do this debate 24/7. First of all, I wouldn't buy a big game like that on the Switch to begin with. Like, make it make sense.
Why not?
I wouldn't seek a high-paying game. Like, certain games you can get away with hard. Like, y'all want too much for like $2. That's what I understand about this generation. Y'all say, oh, better the graphics, get us more memories, get us more controller, but all that, but don't up the prices. But we want it all for $200. That's not how that works.
No, I just said that I will buy the console and the handheld.
Yeah,
though.
but I'm just saying, for the most people, arguments is they don't want you to raise the prices. Like, oh, the Switch shouldn't cost this much, but you're asking for more though. It don't make sense.
I mean,
what you're asking for.
but if they're not giving more to increase the price, I don't think that justifies y'all just going to increase the price. Like, yeah, they have done more for the Switch 2, but I don't feel like they've done enough for Mario Kart to be $80, or any, like, the only game I think should be $80 in Nintendo was like Smash Bros, because we all know what we getting with Smash Bros. And if you mess with Smash Bros, I don't have no hope for you. But like for me, like I said, like I done seen multiple videos about Mario Kart, about how y'all couldn't even do the tour with multiplayer. They just brought that in, and it was $80. That's crazy. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, the tour mode, I think that was single player to begin with. I don't think they wanted you. But, I mean, it was
Right,
just
that's
a
stupid, though.
collectathon anyway. It wasn't like, oh, it wasn't a story mode. So, I don't know where that argument comes from.
No,
but
no, the tour with the
Yeah.
knockout tour is what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, nah, Nintendo multiplayer always dumb. You could do it together, but you had to create your own lobby, but you couldn't add anybody else out of that lobby. So it was stupid.
Yeah, see, nah.
But
But also, I also heard that y'all just collecting P buttons for stickers. Y'all over there collecting come on, Nintendo, like yeah,
you
achievements,
talking about
something.
it was challenges. First of all, I would say I'd rather have stickers than achievement. Let me
Nah.
work for something. I get a sticker and I can like I said, I wish they bring back Miiverse. I was freaking doing crap in Miiverse. I was making moves and you collect stickers and make your own stuff and was able to post in the Nintendo network. Yo, that was peak fire for the Wii U. Don't know why they took that away. But getting back to what I was saying about the whole thing is like the arguments about like systems and stuff like that, like with the whole cartridges thing of the whole game being not being on it. Like I said, games can't fit on CDs no more. Y'all want 230 hours, 50 hours worth of content and expect it to fit on a CD that don't exist. You can't have both. So
What
yes,
Nintendo
people
game
buy
don't fit on the CD though? Like that's
Mario
the
Kart
thing.
World.
Like what
Like-
games is Nintendo giving us that don't fit on the CD? Like okay, like I said, if it's GTA 6, all right, cool, got you.
Well, before they were, but now that the games are bigger, like Mario Kart World, you get all this content in it. The games are not, so people are complaining about it. It's like, which one do y'all want? Y'all want less content to fit on a goddamn CD? Because y'all think, if the system go down, I can still play my game. If they want to take your stuff down, every company, Sony, Xbox, can take all your content away. It's nothing y'all can do.
So
about
what
it.
is
Physical-
content to you? Because I content to me is like stuff that you can actually do in the game, not it being open world. I feel like Mario Kart World is just it's a glorious world, which is it's a great design, but I feel like playing it like I'm here to race. I don't really care about open world and what the world look like and what the sea look like
I mean,
and what
you
Toad
talking-
doing over there. Like
you talking from a different standpoint.
I'm talking about
So
the
content-
gameplay.
I mean, it's still gameplay in Mario Kart World. I don't know why you saying it's like it's none, but
I ain't saying that it's none, but what I'm saying
But
is like I
talking
feel like it
about-
lacks gameplay more than like
I think you
content.
should just play it.
I've seen enough. I don't want to play it. I'm gonna be honest. But
I think
but-
we're not just talking about like content. We're talking about like graphics because everything take up like GB. So how much the content is worth? Like
right.
we talking about games for like 60, like even Call of Duty 150 gigabyte. That's not fitting on a CD. I don't know where y'all getting these ultra CDs from, these maxed out CDs. Like even back then, like Final Fantasy, you was putting Final Fantasy or Red Dead Redemption on 3 discs because it wasn't fit on 1 disc. How can you ask for more content, more graphics? That's what's going to raise the GB, but have it on one single CD. You can't have both.
I don't think. Okay, here's the thing. If that's the case, why even sell a CD or a cartridge? If y'all not gonna put it on a cartridge or a CD, just don't sell it. And that's why PS5 did one of the best things. It was like, why we gonna sell a CD?
Yeah, but
don't make sense.
they sued PlayStation for that because they saying PlayStation is not putting stuff on physical copies. They only putting it on digital, and it's like forcing people to buy PlayStation. They said it was like a predatory stance or whatever the case may be. But PlayStation got sued for that. So it's like, what do y'all want? It don't make sense from neither company. It's just dumb. And nowadays, like for even more GP, because Nintendo use cartridges, it's costing like companies more to buy the heavier cartridges to put more stuff on it. It just don't make sense.
For me, I just don't think Nintendo got that excuse, to be honest. Like, I've seen Mario Kart World, and it ain't enough for me to be like, this game deserves $80, and it's so expensive that you can't put on a cartridge. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it ain't that crazy to the point where it couldn't be $60. But I'm gonna still get it because I'm a Mario Kart head, but it's just,
I mean,
I don't see it.
it's kind of a empty argument because you could say that about a lot of games. A lot of games definitely shouldn't be no $70 goddamn dollars, but it's up to the consumer to pay for it.
Licensing consoles. And of course, Nintendo has lobbied against the Stop Killing Games movement in Europe. They are patenting basic video game loops, and this is all on top of the Switch 2 locking out third-party docks, making you pay for theirs and only theirs. This ain't selling me on the console. If anything, it's selling me on the Steam Deck. Fans were naturally pissed at all these choices. Every one of these decisions most
Let's
likely
stop it
would have
right
caused a
there.
huge stir on their own, but combined.
Okay, they was comparing the Switch 2 to Steam Deck. The only reason why, like, I would say, yeah, get a Steam Deck. The only reason why I say, first of all, the Steam Deck's ugly as crap. I ain't gonna cap. I seen that joint in Best Buy. I'm like, yo, this is like a piece of trash. But the only problem with the Steam Deck is it's supposed to play PC games, but it don't play every single PC game. Why would I want something that I can't play the content that I wanted or that I bought it for? I just go get a PC. That makes no goddamn sense. So the Steam Decks people out there, just stop it.
I mean, well, it's just like the Switch though. Like, you know, like, why would you buy a Switch if you know you can't play certain games on it? You know, why would you buy a Steam Deck if you know you can't play certain
Well, if
games
you
on it? I'm
buying
just gonna get a
Switch,
PC.
you would play Switch games. But if I'm buying PC, if I'm buying a Steam Deck game, I want to play Steam games.
If I'm buying a Switch, I want to play everything
That's
on
like-
it. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I want
like if I
GTA
go
6
buy-
on my Switch.
That's like if I go play Xbox and I can't play Halo. What the frick I'm playing Xbox for?
But like I said, like if first of all, if I'm buying any console, I want to be able to do anything on it. Like if I'm buying my PS5, PS6, whatever, I want to play anything on it. Switch, same thing. Steam Deck, Xbox, same thing. I want everything on it. But that's just me.
They're just compounding and increasing that concern of players. Something is seriously off. So the question is, what's going wrong? The answer to me is that the current leadership, they don't scream customer first. Probably because they aren't. I don't think the people at Nintendo are evil, not at all, and that's ridiculous, but I don't think the leaders have the heart of the gamers like Reggie and Iwata did. Iwata and Reggie were beloved because they cared about the customers. They wanted to deliver value. They were gamers themselves. Iwata even responded to a fan letter from a middle schooler, and he said something crucial in his letter. Making video games is a job that requires a lot of energy, but for me, it was even more fun than playing them. That and the fact that other people could also enjoy what I made gave me a sense of purpose. Nintendo has always been big and corporate, but there's been that fun culture baked into everything, baked into their games, their consoles, their E3s, their leaders.
My body is ready.
But now, it feels like that culture is just pay for it and be happy. That fun culture of Nintendo in the past seems to be gone, or at least going away. Now, I'm not saying that Nintendo is failing or that the Switch 2 is going to fail. It sold 3.5 million units in 4 days. Granted, pretty much every Nintendo console does this, even though Wii U sold out the entire stock on its launch month, but something is clearly different at the company. And I think it's going to hurt them long term. If you go back to videos with Reggie or Iwata and look at the comments, it's all positive. Everyone's nostalgic about these business executives. And after Iwata's passing and Reggie's retirement, fans miss them. I miss them. I don't think it's just nostalgia. Fans miss the Nintendo that cared about them, that cared about fun. But it feels like it's gone. And to be clear, I want Nintendo to succeed. They are an incredible company with so much history. I love their games and have since I was a kid. I mean, this is my Nintendo from 30 years ago, with my old Pokemon Snap still in there. I want my kids to have the same experience, to love Nintendo like I did. Nintendo has been successful because they've done video games different than the rest for most of my life. There's a reason they have been around for 135 years. But now they're acting like every other large video game company, and I worry about their future. As Reggie put it 20 years ago.
The graveyard of any industry is filled with the headstones of companies who decided to keep doing things the same old way, playing only on the margin, making things just a little bit better. That strategy works for a while, but ultimately it's fatal. Over the years, our industry has come to accept progress simply by what's on the screen.
Talk to him, Reggie. That's a real Nintendo right there. That's a real Nintendo nigga right there. Give Reggie his respect, bro. As soon as he retired,
Nobody
man,
better than Reggie.
Soon as he retired, man, his drum went downhill, man. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, my problems with Nintendo. That's just my problems with Nintendo. You know, I'm actually like, first of all, Zelda was the first game I ever played. Diddy Kong Racing was the second game I ever played. I've been with Nintendo from the jump, but the games that we getting now, it's just ain't good. Mario Bros. Wonder, come on, bro. What are we doing? Mario Bros. Wonder looked horrible. Is horrible, feel horrible.
I wouldn't say it looked horrible.
Nah, bro.
Maybe gameplay wise, but nah.
Nah, it don't look better than
But-
3D World or 3D Land, whichever one it is.
It
But
definitely did.
nah, bro, nah.
You
That joint looked.
But
felt
like I said,
is
with the
nasty.
whole thing, it's just most consoles right now is trash right now. Especially PlayStation's cooking y'all biscuit. But at the end of the day, it's just like for the consumer basis, it doesn't make sense of the majority of what y'all asking for, and then saying I want to pay less for stuff. You can't have it both ways. If you want more content, more better graphics, stuff in 4K, you gotta cough up $1 or $2.
That's the thing, though. I don't feel like the games are getting better, though. So for you to say that you gotta
But
cough up a dollar or two when your games are not getting, your product ain't getting better, that's
But
my
that's
issue.
what I'm saying but that energy is pointing at Nintendo. That's for Xbox and PlayStation too.
Oh no, it's all of them. But
but that's what I'm saying. That's where all the hatred is coming from. But Xbox and PlayStation, shoot. First of all, I heard it's rumors, but I heard Spider-Man supposed to be coming out 2028. It's supposed to be the last Spider-Man in the franchise.
possibly.
PlayStation, what the heck are y'all doing with your IP?
But like that's the thing though. But when PlayStation drops their exclusives, it's a $70 worth game. Except Spider-Man. The only reason why I don't agree with Spider-Man being $70
First
is
of all,
because it was
that
only 15
last
hours.
set was not $70. Ratchet and Clank
God of
was
War,
like $20.
God
God
of
of War
War,
is like the only IP that you have left. That's
$70.
like $70. But Ratchet and Clank, $20. Spider-Man, $30.
Spider-Man was like 50. It's still a great game, but I
It was
wouldn't buy it
great,
for no 70.
but I would give it 40. I match you there. Go 40.
That Horizon 35. I ain't gonna lie. Look, bro. Look, and it ain't because it's a bad game. Horizon is a good game, right? It's actually a better game than the first one.
All they had to do was tweak it a bit.
Nah,
Like-
that's the issue. They tweaked it a bit. They didn't do nothing extra. But if
The story was kind of trash.
If-
Like I
if
said, on the
you-
first one,
go ahead.
no. Well, on the first one, it was like, okay, the black guy, he was supposed to become the villain. He was supposed to take over. I come into the new game and I'm working with him again. Why? Isn't he supposed to be the villain? Like,
My problem is that if you compare the games, just the games, like the gameplay and stuff like that, Forbidden West is better than Horizon Zero Dawn. The reason why I don't like Forbidden West is because it's a copy of Horizon Zero Dawn. I didn't want a copy of the first game. I wanted y'all to build off the first game and make a better game, like every other gaming company do. But y'all decided to and then people been talking about the flying mounts forever. Oh, can't wait till I get a flying mount. Can't wait to get a flying mount. Y'all didn't give us the ability to get one to the end of the game.
man, that's something we wanted in the first game.
Y'all
What the heck?
are you stupid? And then they showed us an underwater scene, right? You can go underwater, you can fight underwater. That was for 5 seconds. What are y'all doing?
And you want to know the crazy thing? Zelda, they didn't show the underworld, and like they were only like, "Oh, we got the land and skies." When you get the game, it's a whole freaking underworld. They haven't showed, and that joint was massive. But yeah, I don't know what Horizon. I still haven't even finished Forbidden West.
It's
And like when
it's
they
good,
released
but it's
it,
just the same.
it was so glitchy. I kept falling through the maps. I was trying to stream that thing. It was not working out.
It was glitchy. I'm not sure where it's at now because I haven't played it in
I was
3
just thinking about
years.
going to go play it back. I don't know.
It ain't worth it. It's like I said, it ain't no content in it. Like games nowadays, like they be dropping expansive, luxurious worlds with nothing in them. I don't want an open world game if you ain't gonna put nothing in the open world. You
Not
have
even
to
that.
put a game into the world that I can play.
I'm not buying games that you gotta pay DLC. If you dropping DLC when the game launches, I'm not buying.
Nah, I don't believe that game had DLC. If it did, then it was like
I don't
for
think it
costumes and
did,
stuff
but
like
it's
that.
just like that's how most games be like that. Oh, just buy DLC. Like, come on, bro.
No, for sure.
But
for sure.
yeah, I think that's all the IPs. Well, Sackboy, $15.
Yeah, I think that's done anyway. I think he stopped on the PS4.
Yeah, I think they're done with Sackboy as well, and the only thing I see in that future is God of War, honestly.
But yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I don't, you know, like I said, I got my issues with Nintendo because I don't feel like they have been dropping quality games for a while. Like ever since this first Switch came out, like Mario Odyssey, I felt like that wasn't a quality game in a Mario 3D world. Like, felt like it was for kids. The only games that has been good is like Zelda. You know, that's it. Is Zelda. Smash Bros, Mario Kart, and Zelda. That's the only thing.
First of all, Mario Kart 8 is mediocre, bro.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I didn't play Mario Kart 8 because it was trash to me. But I came back when at 200
and here's the
CC.
thing: people think it just dropped on. No, Mario Kart 8 dropped on the Wii U. That's the first game I
For
had
sure,
on my
for sure,
Wii U.
for sure. And I ain't played that hoe. I hated Mario Kart 8.
'Cause
I hated
yeah,
that. Game.
and that's what I'm saying.
It was bland.
UMB didn't play Mario Kart 8 until recently and stuff like that, and it's just like it say like, oh, this is peak. Like it is definitely not.
Right. That's why I didn't play it. Well, I played Mario Kart 8, and I didn't like Mario Kart 8. That's the reason why I didn't play it. But when Deluxe dropped and all the new tracks came, and I was like, oh, this drink kind of crazy. 200cc drop.
And
That was lit.
that was DLC, more stuff you had to pay for because we still had Deluxe only had the DLC from when it dropped on the Wii U, so we only had like 48 new tracks, and that's when it was like after the game ended, you know, the DLC tracks didn't drop until the end of the Switch era. So the last year of the Switch, that's when they gave us Mario Kart tracks. So the game been out for 13 years, and you talking about on the 13th year, y'all gonna give us more content. That's why I was like, no.
Nah, I ain't saying that the whole thing is lit, but what they drop?
Yeah, I would say they probably dropped like 30 good tracks. The rest of them city tracks are horrible.
I actually like the city tracks. I know what you're talking about, but yeah, let's get this Reanimal popping.